Are you concerned about South Dakota property taxes? Well, that's an easy one to answer, isn't it? But did you know that the way you cast your vote is what's causing these problems? In South Dakota, it has always just been a habit to send Republicans to the legislature. And when you look at what they've done with your trust, you should consider an alternative. Yes, that's true. The way you cast your vote is probably the cause of your problems. For 40 years, Republicans have controlled the governor's office, the state house, and the state senate. 40 years of one-party control. In the last two legislative sessions, Republicans controlled right at 90% of the seats, a supermajority. In other words, Republicans do whatever they want. There is no resistance to even the most radical ideas. And that's why you need to know that your vote for Republicans is what's causing your agony. This current tax fiasco is 100% a Republican strategy. The tax situation is exactly how Republicans want it. How do we know that? Because they have complete control of the governor's office and the state legislature. Republicans can do anything they want. And that's why we can only deduce one thing about our current South Dakota tax debacle, and that is this. Republicans want this tax structure exactly the way it is. Let's take a look at this graph to show you what we're talking about. This data was provided by the South Dakota Department of Revenue. The graph shows increases in real property taxes generated across all South Dakota. As you can see, the last 7 years have been really tough for residential and commercial property owners. But as you can see, the statewide ag tax revenue has remained stable. No huge spikes like residential and commercial. During the last 7 years, residential property tax revenue has increased by a whopping 43%. Talk about inflation. This data proves that Republicans are forcing hardworking South Dakotans subsidize multi-million-dollar ag operations. Many of these citizens are struggling to make ends meet already. The reason this situation exists is this. Republicans want it this way. We know this because with the long-term supermajority they enjoy, they can have literally anything they want. They can fix any problem they want. But it doesn't look like they are interested in fixing your real estate tax problem, does it? They've made it worse every single year for the last 7 years. And there really is no end in sight. So when you're in that voting booth and you're thinking about protecting your future, you should feel very good holding Republican candidates accountable for the mess they've created for you. And if the past 7 years is any indication, the Republican you send to the legislature will only make it worse for you. They will only make it worse. It's time for a change. So this election, instead of automatically voting for a Republican, think about the mess they've created for you and other honest, hardworking South Dakota citizens. Make November 5th. Hold a Republican accountable day. If you don't make a change, it's clear that they are going to make it worse for you.